Well, it gives me great pleasure to welcome to the Peach Studio the legend, the man himself, Mr. Paul Reed-Smith. Thank you for coming, Paul. It's been just over 2 years since I last saw you at the 2020 NAMM show.
I think it was 3.
Was it 3?
I think it was 3.
The
Well,
time's
COVID
gone.
took 2.5 years and just put us in our homes for so long.
Well, that was going to be my first question to you, because every guest that we've had in since, I just kind of wanted to ask what their COVID experience was in terms of, like, how did you feel when the company had to go into shutdown? And, you know, I'm sure everybody's just expecting me to ask you, you know, what's happening in the guitar world? What's your favourite guitar? All this and all that kind of stuff. But I want to know how it made you feel, and, you know, could you ever have imagined the boom in guitar sales?
No, I don't think anybody predicted that the drug of COVID would be buying a guitar so that you could feel good at home.
Yeah.
I mean, but I've always known that if you sit on the couch with a guitar you love, you're in no pain, and when you put it away, there's no hangover. That is, I mean, you're a drug dealer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, but that's okay. I think it's good. COVID didn't bother me that much, except that after the 2.5 months of being shut down, if the governor had made it another 2.5 months, I might have lost the company.
Really?
And that was scary. The most upsetting thing was looking at the refrigerator trucks backing up to the hospital in New York, and they couldn't get the bodies into the trucks fast enough. That was scary.
Yeah.
When I was in France on this trip, they told me that they had shut the entire country down 3 separate times. In America, it got shut down once, and there were no cars on the road. No. I mean, you know, it was just empty.
Yeah.
And slowly, we went back to work, on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. You know, we're only losing about 400 a day now in America, where it was thousands.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that this virus is here to stay. I don't think it's going away anytime soon. It was upsetting when they told me about how it had shut the country down 3 separate times. How many times did you get shut down here?
I think we had 2 full major shutdowns. Yeah.
We had one big one, and then a bunch of little ones.
Yeah. We might have had a couple of other, like, you know, higher restricted kind of times, but if I remember rightly, it was 2, like, the main ones.
Yeah, and I was surprised by the guitar sales. We are 2 years back ordered. We're without COVID, I think, would only be a year.
Yeah.
But, you know, setting up all the plexiglass things so people could work separated, and the masks, and all the things that very interesting.
Yeah, I think it was same like when we first heard about the lockdown was coming. This was on the Monday, and on the Friday we was going to be moving home. We just exchanged contracts on a new house, moving house on the Friday, and I was just thinking, oh my gosh, we've got this huge new mortgage, all this kind of stuff. What's going to happen to the business?
Yeah.
You know, and you're just feeling like, oh, wow, I can't believe this is happening at this particular time. I mean, you know, thankfully everybody's all healthy and, you know, in the family and stuff. But, you know, you think, oh wow, and then, you know, 2.5 years on, a little bit longer than that, you know, our company is in the best position ever. You know, we were chatting about this earlier. You know, we're actually in a spot where I don't mind admitting we're so busy now that sometimes we're actually struggling to keep up with demand because of our high standards, the way that we like to do things, the way we like to photograph everything, and you know, and we like to check every guitar that goes out the door, you know, like why we invested in the Plek machine. We spoke to you about that, and all the other things that we try and do. And you know, if anything, what was probably the worst thing to happen to us in our lifetime has been the making almost of our company. You know, it's really forced me into a direction that I was thinking about already, and it kind of turned our hand already. So it sounds like that I'm being interviewed, but I should be talking more to you. So
that's the way it should be between you and me. The other thing is that I follow the Ukraine war very, very closely.
Yeah.
And I interviewed a lot of people in Europe about what they said, what they thought, and they all said the same thing. They said, the future is very smoky. It's hard to see. Very, very hard to see, but everybody's watching it like a hawk, and they're very concerned, and they don't really want to think about it.
No.
So that's also another thing that's happened, in our lifetime. I'm 66, so I saw the Vietnam War happen. There's some other things that happened. Very scary. I'm back here because it's safe enough to fly back. I didn't want to be disconnected from the shop. I didn't want to be disconnected from the Benelux market, the French market, the Italian market, the German market, the Spanish market, the UK market. It's not something I wanted to do. And I have traveled enough to know that what you're told is not the same as when you go there and talk to people.
Yeah,
it's not the same.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah. So
you get a finite idea of what's going on, don't you, from other people's perspectives?
Yeah,
but when you talk to people,
it's different. Yeah. It's always different, and I wanted to know the truth.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what our future held, and I think, the guitar is the violin of our time. When Paganini used to come to London, the people would all go down to the docks to meet this rock star. That was violins, right? Yeah. And now it's guitars.
Yeah.
And it used to be, these big bands playing, concerts, and more, you've got all these people on TikTok and.
I've said this so many times. When I first started playing guitar, my dream was to be able to get up and play in front of people. That was what I really wanted to do.
You're a very good guitar player.
Thank you very much, Bill. But now it's like when I see, I saw an amazing guitar player. I've forgotten his name. He's got so many followers on Instagram and stuff. And I saw him put a post out on there recently. It said, I'm going to be doing my first gig this weekend. What? And I was like, how have you got to this level and have never done a gig? But that is just, we have to embrace what happens. People's, like, my dream was to play in front of people. People's thing now is, or young guitarists is, I want to be able to record a video and upload it to YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, like you say. So, thankfully we've still got these beautiful instruments that we are kind of making the music on, but it has just changed so much, hasn't it? And we kind of have to develop, and if we all sold to just gigging musicians, we'd be a lot less busy, wouldn't we?
Well, in America, actually, gigging's going well right now.
Is it really?
To the point where so many bands are traveling, sometimes they're having ticket sales problems because so many options to go see bands again.
Yeah.
It's fascinating what's going on. Look, if you want to change the course of a river, and the river wants to go that way, it's almost impossible. So in my world, this is the way it's going, and get used to it and learn the new way. Embrace it. Your business is changing. My business is changing. And I think to fight it is nuts.
Yeah.
But to understand it and be a part of the new thing, I have so much to tell my crew when I get back about where I think this business is going. I found an instrument on this trip that was so good that our industry's forgotten that those instruments could be that good. I told you about it at lunch, right? And I was like, we've forgotten. I don't want to forget.
No.
And look, you're at the center of a hub of all these people, thousands of customers, right? And so you get to see things other people don't see. Sure. I mean, you were showing me Gary Moore's amps from his tour that you were able to get. Yeah. I mean, that's being in the middle of the hub and learning. And I learned something today when I plugged into it because I'd only heard them with the JBL speaker. I'd never heard it with a CTS speaker. And I learned something today. I learned... Jack likes to play with more high end than I'm comfortable with, and he makes it sound beautiful.
Yeah, and it doesn't. It doesn't. Sound harsh or anything.
No, it doesn't.
Got that style that just
but they
works
used
for
to
that.
use in the old days a thing called a Rangemaster,
I know.
which was a treble booster, which made the track have not too. They had a bass player. They didn't need the guitar player to be playing bass because there's a lot of bass coming out of these amps sometimes. Fascinating.
Yeah, amazing sound.
Yeah.
And the you know, what I got out of you know, we had a lovely lunch today, and I think we both just realised that we're both still really super excited
and passionate
about. And I hope, you know, it's really hard to get across to our customers sometimes, but I hope anybody that, you know, that watches this knows that, you know, this is a business and we need to make money to pay our employees and, you know, and all the other bills that we've got and all this sort of stuff. But, you know, I truly believe that, you know, we're super passionate and everybody that works here loves the guitar. And that's what we do it for.
Well, you're also experts.
Yeah.
And the definition of an expert is somebody in a very complicated area that solves complicated problems over and over again. One of the things I like about dealers is I say you don't go to the ice cream store and not buy an ice cream cone.
No.
Otherwise, the ice cream store goes right out of business, right? So it's okay. It's a symbiotic relationship. They need guitars. They need experts to teach them about the guitars. They need a selection to pick from. I mean, when I was a kid, there was 7 or 8 guitars to pick from. Now there's 700 or 800 guitars to pick from. So it's kind of hard to swim through that.
Yeah.
You kept talking about these S2s.
Yeah.
What is it about the S2 that you wanted? You've got them hanging.
We've got these two here. So these are our limited run guitars that we had made by yourselves with quilt tops. But I kind of wanted to talk about the S2 range and kind of how that came about anyway. Because for us during COVID again as well, it was a superb sweet spot for the price point. For people that might not necessarily have been able to afford a USA PRS in the past.
But this is a USA
But
PRS.
but in the past, you know, the cost of like a custom 24 would be a lot, you know, a core custom 24 like the guitar you had with Jack. You know, like this guitar is a, you know, super high spec, but at an all-time low price for a USA guitar. And also when you compare it to the competition in the marketplace,
which I've not done really.
Yeah, no, but you know
how does it stand up
in terms of where this guitar sits now in the marketplace? The equivalent other USA brands of this type are now actually more expensive. So this guitar here is, you know, all USA made, limited run with these beautiful finishes. We have the double cut version as well.
So in America, Vanna White walks back and forth across the stage and says, "Look at the guitar.
Check it out."
Well,
and
this neck was carved with the same machines. This thing was sanded by the same people. This thing was put together by the same people. We don't really have a separate assembly line. It's a little bit separate, but mostly not. And so this is a Maryland-built guitar. You are correct. The whole reason we built the new factory is just someday so we could do the S2. We didn't know it was going to be called S2 at the time. For about 2/5 the price. Yeah. Is that about right? About 2/5?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, maybe a little bit more, but still, you know, this would certainly be probably less than half the price of you know, a full 594.
Then 2/5 is dead on the money. So, look, I come to expect that when I pick up the guitar, it's going to have exactly the right neck shape. It's going to have the same way that it plays and stays in tune. And I picked this up, and this doesn't feel like a lesser guitar.
No, they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing guitars. And at this price point...
So how many were in this limited run, and how many were in that limited run?
We had 20 altogether. So we had 10 doubles and 10 single cuts. And we've got them in a variety of different colours. They're all up on the website. Left? I think we've got 5 or 6 left now. Yeah. Maybe I could get you to sign a couple, so whoever snaps one of the last ones could get a nice little squiggle on the back. But yeah, so the S2 and SE business, I guess was the SE business really affected by COVID and in more shutdowns and stuff?
Well, we used to do $15 million worth of SEs.
Yeah.
And you're talking about SEs or S2s?
Yeah, SEs, yeah.
And now we do 50 million wholesale, and we're headed for 100 really fast.
Yeah.
When we did the SE Silver Sky, we got 13,000 orders in one day.
Yeah.
I mean, when we released the American one, John blew up our website.
Yeah.
He was getting 1,000 likes a minute. That's 60,000 likes an hour. That wasn't views, that was likes.
Yeah.
Oh, we got schooled that day, and he's running the whole thing off his personal phone without an assistant. Just unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I would say COVID was positive for SEs. Our struggle is that we're teaching. We're teaching these factories how to do exactly what we want. And other companies, we hear all the time that they're asking better price. And we're not saying that. We're saying better guitar, teach. And for me, I'm proud of that. Jack Higginbotham, who runs that whole thing, he's a guitar maker, he's a furniture maker, he's a manager, knows what he's doing. Used to be the president of our company. Now he's the chief operating officer. But he thought that a huge impact could be had with the SEs if we took one of the three of us that are managing the business and we stuck it on that, and he was dead right.
Really, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I'll sell you 13,000 SC Silver Skies if you want. You want to just give me another
we've tried our best.
Warrior.
We've tried our best to sell as many as possible, and we did.
So our job is to make them not boomerangs. We don't want them to go out and then come back. So people are liking them.
Yeah, absolutely loving them. And I said to you honestly, the pickups in that guitar, they are really, really good. Like Drew was here with me when we did the video for the new pedals, and it sounded so good. It sounded so good. It had more, muscle to the sound, I actually think, than even the USA version. But it's horses for courses. But I just plugged that guitar in, even on when Jez brought the first one in. For us to do a shootout and a nice little video on it for the original release, I actually thought that the pickups had been changed, like some sneaky stuff was going on there underneath.
No sneaky stuff.
No, and it was.
But that we did something sneaky inside the pickups to make them sound that good. Look, the thing about a Silver Sky is those pickups are beautiful, big, and clear with a lot of bass, and it demands that you play really well.
Yeah, percussive style.
But if you are John Mayer and you play that well, oh my God, the sound that comes out's magic.
Yeah.
With the SE, those pickups were set up so that if you're not quite as good a guitar player, you can get that kind of sound.
Yeah.
So, there's nothing like the bass pickup on a regular Silver Sky when it's when you got the rig all straightened out. Yeah. Oh, the sound's stupid.
Yeah.
You can get a faster tone with the SE one, but there's something about the elegance of that high end. That's just
I have cool. Both of the limited edition versions, the USA guitars that you did in the cool flip flop colours, the Lunar Ice and what was the other one called? Nebula. I have one.
You have a Nebula put away? Do you know how many people are looking for a Nebula? If you put it up for sale...
They're my pensions. All these things, they're my pensions.
You're taking all this gear you should be selling.
I know. I'm keeping all the good stuff for me.
Are you really?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'll show you a few bits later. Are you going to show me the
stack so I can make an offer today?
Yeah, I'll show you a few bits later. So.
Oh, he didn't say he's going to show me the whole stack. I asked to look for the whole room, and you said I'll show you a few bits.
I've got a few bits
stashed
away. But I just can't stop. These things just keep coming. I told you about the old Strat and the 335 and all that stuff.
We don't call them 335s.
335, sorry.
We call them 335s. But I've always been fascinated. It's a 345, 355, 330, 335.
I know, but, I just need more
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Why do the light switches in this country backwards? In America, if you want to turn it on, you pull it up. In this country, you want to turn it on, you push it down. That just sounds like the water going the wrong direction in Australia or something when you flush the toilet. I don't understand.
You sure you wasn't in Australia at the time? You was down under there, mate. I don't know. It is probably the funky hotels that Jez has been having.
That was in this building.
Was it?
I'll show you.
All right.
Did they wire your building wrong?
Probably. Well, mate,
so
I'll ask for a nice rent reduction.
That was a joke. Yeah. Tell me about this room.
So
this wooden room, was this your idea?
Yeah, so this was basically, we was talking about it earlier. We had our lovely big Unit 3 that we've got next door, and we was happy with everything that we had there. And then our neighbours... This is in the
new building?
This is the new building. So this is Unit 4. And our neighbours moved out, and it seemed like just too good of an opportunity to because if someone else would have moved in and we'd have missed out, you know, with future expansion plans and all that stuff, it seems, you know, we just had to do it, and we did, and we've got more space now to do other things. And you know, during COVID, I actually bought some gym equipment for the guys to use. So we've got a little room next door to use a Peloton and all that kind of stuff as well. And it was just, you know, having that extra room just means that we can do, you know, nice events like this, and we're not.
Well, it
you know,
sounds good in here.
Yeah.
You know what it looks like?
Yeah.
It looks like a Texas barbecue house.
Exactly. Well, that's the
Is
kind
that
of
what
thing
you
we was
wanted?
going for. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we want, you know, people to view our content and have a bit of fun, and you know, the same when they come to the store and they see the saloon. You know, I never get tired of when I'm just standing there, you know, just walking around, and you see people open the doors and they go,
Yeah.
like that, and they just can't believe that look. And I just think, oh, you just can't take all that stuff for granted, you know.
Well, wooden rooms also sound good.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you do all your videos in here now?
Yeah, we do these all in here, and you know, Jack does a fantastic job for us, and yeah, it's really helped take our marketing stuff up to the kind of the next level, and the guys do a great job with photography and everything. So it's been a real pleasure. So
I have a question for you.
Go on.
If we're going to start that, you're getting interviewed instead of me getting
okay, oh
interviewed.
gosh, what did I try?
So what do you have? I mean, I know that things have, you know, doubled, tripled for you with the impact of the store. What do you have planned? Are you just going to try to stay on the straight and narrow and keep going in the direction this is going?
Yeah, I mean, I love what I do, and I think everybody that works here has a great time doing it. I mean, you know, it's not always easy. You know, there's a lot of problems with supply and, you know, courier issues and all these sorts of things. But I can't honestly say that there's one day when I ever wake up and think I don't want to go to work, ever. I always enjoy coming in, and you know, the fact that we get paid to, you know, sit around and occasionally play a guitar, which is you know, that is a real pleasure. But most of the time, I am sat in front of a computer with UPCs, SKUs, you know, all this other stuff.
And
I don't even look at a guitar, you know, and like, you know, I walk past and I hear Jack, what's he playing today, right? Yeah. He's working on this stuff, and you know, I'm very lucky that we've got a great team that are working behind the scenes on the marketing stuff, in the warehouse, the sales guys, so I can focus on the boring stuff that has to be done.
I can say, I can't remember, but maybe 1 or 2 days in my entire career where I didn't want to go to work.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you're trying to take care of your customers, something hurts.
Yeah.
And so a little scotch when I get home, and then shaking it off and waking up the next morning and just shaking it off. And, okay, I'm ready to go at it again.
Go at it again. Yeah, you know, things aren't, you know, some things, you know, do go wrong from time to time. We're all human. Yeah. Things go wrong sometimes. It's just the way that you deal with these things.
You were talking about how you like to take care of customers and make sure that when they do have a problem, that it gets fixed. You were talking about that today, and that's us too. We want to try to take care of people.
Yeah. Well, we basically never, I'm not just saying this, we never get any problems with your guitars, ever. You know, it's just like we get the odd, you know, in 3 months' time a customer's got a problem with a pot or a tuner's broke. It's just sorted straight away. But the amount of times that, you know, we getting a PRS ready and I go in and see one of the guys in the tech room, you know, because we set everything up properly. I'm like, is it good? He's like, yeah, truss rod adjustment, you know, because of, you know, temperature change. Mm-hmm. And it's
more humidity change.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, and it's good to go. So, and we get a new set of strings on it, clean off all the slobber.
You were invited to my place. Yeah. You're invited to my home. And you're invited to, we have seafood in Annapolis, and I can take you out for...
Oh, I'd love that. We'll come out, we'll hang out.
Mussels, clams, big shrimp, crabs.
We'll check it out.
All that stuff. You like seafood?
Yeah, love it.
Well, there's a seafood house down the street.
Yeah, well, now that...
I'll take you to.
Now that, you know, we can fly around a bit more, I am trying to get as many trips in as possible to make up for these last 2 years. So I've already got 3 more America trips lined up, so... Maybe you could add. I'm going to add the 4th.
Visiting to Annapolis. Well, maybe you could add it onto one.
Yeah, I'm sure we could do that. Well, going to bring my guys over. Paul.
By the way, Jack did a great job. He would busted out all kinds of stuff. I think there was very little editing. It just kind of had a flow to it, and we're not going to have to futz with it. It was just the way it was. Right?
And I'm looking forward to the the relationship that 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 we can have together between Peach and PRS. And I
Yeah.
know there's going to be some great things on the horizon, some amazing new products coming along, and now you can sell everyone the whole rig. You've got amazing pedals, amazing amps, and
How did
amazing
the pedal
guitars.
video turn out?
Oh, I think it turned out pretty good.
So why don't you just stick a link right up here so people can hit the
Maybe we
pedal?
will.
Yeah.
You've done this before. Right. Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Thanks very
Thank
much
you.
for watching.